We are 3SG Plus and we innovate. With over 2 decades of experience, we've helped businesses improve efficiency, become more proficient, and increase revenue. So now we want to share our story to help businesses stay up to date and hear what industry leaders are currently doing to stay ahead of their competition. Join us and follow along as we share the secrets of what it takes to thrive in today's economy from renowned influencers and technology today. Welcome to the 3SG Plus Innovation and Technology Business Podcast. I am so excited to have Doug Drescher, one of the top performing salespeople here at 3SG Plus. He is the Director of Business Development. And some fun things about Doug is actually originally from Buffalo, New York. And his expertise and his degree is in computer science. He has a passion for his family. He loves his family a lot. And he is also a hockey coach and I think a director for Youth League. Is that right, Doug?
Actually, the coaching experience is behind me now, so I'm not active with the coaching side. But I did go out and earn my level 4 USA Hockey certification when I was coaching. But it's been a while. But I'm more on the administrative side. I oversee a 300-plus player organization across Central Ohio. Its name is the Ohio Scholastic Hockey League. We go as far east as Athens. We go as far west as Dayton, and I've been doing this now for probably about 14, going on 15 years. So,
wow.
And growing up in Buffalo, I know some people perhaps listen to this videotape go, "Oh my gosh, Buffalo!" But I tell you, it teaches you how to handle some cold weather, some very snowy weather, and with that, you take advantage of that type of environment, and you learn to play a lot of outdoor sports, winter sports, and hockey was one of them. So I'm very proud of the experiences I brought with me here to Central Ohio. And with that said, you know, as we both know, the Columbus Blue Jackets have been here in Columbus for about 20 years now. And it was really nice landing here about the same time the Jackets did and having the opportunity to participate in youth sports, which certainly helps open the eyes of both parents as well as their children, the kids that play hockey, have that experience, learn about responsibility, teamwork, and also develop some real nice skills that they can perhaps take forward as they continue their education to a higher level. So very, very, very proud of what we're doing. Very proud.
That is amazing. So let me ask you this question. Have you taken any experiences or knowledge or things that you learned from being a coach and apply it to your business life?
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have. A few guiding principles that I operate under. For example, I feel that I'm a very humble person, humility, so I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. I also practice integrity. So I do what's right and admit mistakes and move on. And transparency. I make decisions in the open and input from those who choose to participate. And most importantly, empathy. And that is, walk in the shoes of the other person, listen intently, and keep an open mind. And I apply those principles not only to my day-to-day business life, but to my personal life, my family, as well as to the things that I do on a social basis after work. So that's what I learned. That's what I've developed, and that's what I apply.
And that's what you're sticking to, right?
That's right.
All right, great. So you are the Director of Business Development. Tell me a little bit about your career path, the experience that you've had before, and kind of what you're doing for 3SG now.
Sure. Well, first of all, most people don't know this about me, but when I graduated from college, I actually was doing software development, and I developed software solutions for about 10 years. And so I certainly can relate to the challenges that are associated with planning, scoping out, and developing and delivering a system. Learned that very well. I also learned how to communicate with end users and how best to bring them along, especially when you're dealing with end users that they either don't get it or they want to dig their heels in and they want to slow you down or stop you from what you're trying to accomplish, because the bigger picture is, as well as other people that have bought into it, it's going to help the organization. It's going to help the organization operate more efficiently and deliver that service or improve service to that end user or to that customer. So again, I can relate to that. I've done it for 10 years, not only doing software development, but also getting into project management type roles as well. But while I was doing that, I was growing more and more interested in what I'll describe as the sales and marketing side of it, meaning I had the opportunity to join a startup consulting firm out of Buffalo, New York. And honestly, I was like employee number 4. And we started out of Buffalo, New York. And in so doing, obviously, I started out in a consulting role, developing software solutions for various clients. But I also wanted to get involved where possible with supporting the sales and marketing initiatives. And as I did that, I started to get a feel for and develop a taste for, if you will, the sales and marketing side. And it really, really interested me. So it reached a point. I had attended some night school courses to better prepare me for sales and marketing. And in working with the management team of that consulting firm, we finally decided to make the cutover, where I essentially, one day I walked away from doing software development consulting assignments to then starting down the sales and marketing track. And I got to tell you, that first year, you go through what I'll call withdrawal pains, because you're going from something that you know extremely well to something that you think you can be successful at. And I think what pulled me through is I have this ability to focus and continue to push forward on the goal that I've set for myself. And
go ahead.
And as things turned out, it's turned out very well.
That's great. So making the transition from almost like, the solution side to now the sales side, what do you feel like was maybe one of your biggest struggles that you dealt with, making the convert?
The biggest struggle would be, how should I phrase this? Each day developing new work responsibilities, new tasks for yourself that are sales and marketing related, as opposed to software development related tasks. And by that I mean sitting down with end users, defining a solution, building prototypes, presenting those solutions, etc. Whereas on the sales and marketing side, it's like, okay, Doug, here's an area that we wish to go after. How should we peel back this onion? Do we just start cold calling and just reaching out, or do we put together a strategy and a plan? I'm the type of guy, I like to put together a strategy and a plan. I like to have a story that we're going to be telling, something that's going to be of value to the prospective client, and something that can either lead to maybe further interest in that particular capability, or maybe it opens the door to further conversation, all at the same time developing relationship and hopefully eventually getting to what I'll call the trusted advisor level with that prospect or new client. So those are the things that I look for. I never used to look at it that way, but when you sit down and you start talking about the steps and the levels that you work through in a relationship with a client, I can begin to relate that very much back to when I had consulting clients that I would be delivering software solutions to, and getting in the door and delivering that first solution and starting to that client develops confidence in you, and they start opening other opportunities up to you, and they're coming to you for the answer or a recommendation before they start taking any further steps. And that ties in very nicely into the kind of role that we like to work ourselves into on the sales and marketing side.
That's great. So right now we're working, in a time that's a little different now, right? We have COVID-19 happening right now, and there's a lot of businesses that are kind of taking a step back and slowing down. What what would you say to them, or what do you see as the biggest challenge that they're facing right now, and what advice would you give them to kind of overcome the circumstances right now?
Well, clearly, and you and I have talked about this, but it's very easy to find yourself involved in a conversation with a prospective client and taking the time up front to empathize with each other about what we've each been going through, especially since the shutdown hit everybody around mid-March, and the different effects that it's had on everybody. And you really need some time to talk about that and talk about what effect it had on them directly, what effect it had on their family, and what effect it's had on their business. With the understanding that we all believe that, we're all going to come out of this together. Things are slowly improving out there. And with that said, you still need to keep an eye on the future and what the future business needs or IT objectives are for that organization, or a number of the organizations that we talked to of recent, they do describe their current situation where they're pretty much, just keeping the lights on and spending what we call OpEx money just to keep things going. But they pulled back on any CapEx spending, yet it doesn't go away. They may have they may have slowed it down, or they may have halted it for now, but it's not going to go away. I'm envisioning an environment, a situation where, when people start feeling more comfortable and are either able to return to their work site, or we go to that next level with this working from home approach, and we need to start to address those future system needs that all of these organizations are going to have and continue to have. So again, empathy is important, but keeping an understanding of who's doing what and what they're planning and what the timing is associated with that is extremely important. And you continue to, I'll use the word educate. It's surprising a number of organizations that we've spoken to, and you hear about some of the decisions that they've made, and you ask some questions about, well, depth, how deep did you go with that decision-making process? And sometimes you hear a description that's very similar to what I heard 20 or so years ago. Well, it's IBM, so I chose IBM because it's. And now you're hearing, well, it's Microsoft. Well, I chose Microsoft because it's Microsoft, or Oracle, or whatever. My point is, by speaking to the prospects, by offering just suggest, did you think about this? Did you think about that? It does cause many to step back and say, I didn't think of that. Let's have some more discussion around that. The intent, obviously, is just to identify where maybe you thought you had this thought through, but you have one of those aha moments that you really didn't think about. And you'd like to be in a position to help them reach a better solution than maybe what they were originally thinking of. So that's what you attempt to do. So with this COVID-19 hitting us starting mid-March, it's obviously slowed things down, but you need to continue to maintain a positivity. And you look for, maybe call it the little things that is something positive that you look for on a daily basis, but they're out there. They are truly out there. And we need to just keep encouraging each other and moving forward.
I think that's great. I think just hearing you talk, you mentioned empathy early in the conversation, and I think that's the key word that I keep hearing throughout the rest of your conversation through these trying times. That's great. Well, listen, Doug, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to speak with me so that people can hear kind of your story and the approach that you take when it comes to sales. If someone wanted to connect with you, what is the easiest way to connect with you?
Well, I'm certainly available through LinkedIn. You could easily find me out there. If you were to Google me, you'd probably find, well, I know you would find my name associated with the Ohio Scholastic Hockey League, but I'm here at 3SG, and I'm easy to find. But Michael, before you run off on me, I would like to close this conversation out with this thought. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. Major gains are nothing but a collection of minor gains. And that's the kind of philosophy that I operate on.
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff.
So,
did you come up with that, or is that someone else's?
That's me.
That's great. Look at you. You are a philosopher. I love it. No, that is good. That is something that we can, it's a great way to end. Doug, thank you again for taking your time out. And we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.